Hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe for more quality content.
What's going on, guys? It's Dorian from Cravings, and today we're making a TRICKSTAR deck profile. First things first, you want to play, obviously, three Candina. Candina is your main searcher. You normal summon, get a card, usually the field spell or reincarnation if you need to, or another TRICKSTAR monster. Next, you're going to play three of the Licorice. Licorice is your go-to, these are not ulti unfortunately, but your go-to special summon, kill them with burn, they draw, they're your shields, they're the ones that you banish reincarnation for. Although Candina gets all your searches, Licorice is probably the best one. Objectively though, your next best argument would be Lilybell. You're going to play one Lilybell in the deck. Lilybell is your attack directly card. It's when it's added to your hand, it automatically special summons. It's one of the best cards currently for the deck, so you only play it at one because you don't need more than one. Next, we're going to play three of a card I had to proxy. This is Eater of Millions. Eater of Millions is your go-to get-around. It's not a TRICKSTAR card, but it's probably your best card in your deck. It's going to get over Thunder Dragons, it's going to get over Dynamite, it's going to get over and around pretty much any monster, any big boss monster that's left in the dueling world at the moment. TRICKSTAR's big thing is that they can't get big enough and they just don't stack high enough against the other boss monsters currently, so this will do the job. That's pretty much it. Off to hand traps. Hand traps are going to be 3 Draw Unlock Bird. The meta hasn't seen it, but they will need to. Draw Unlock is your standard against Striker. It's your standard against True Draco. Although you could, that's where the Thunder Dragons get all their power from, right? So Draw Unlock Bird is your essential 3 of. You're playing 3 Ash Blossom because Ash Blossom is your good against Rogue, good against pretty much anything. You can Ash a lot of things that your opponents will need if you end up going first. Ash is just a good card to have in any deck. Finally, 3 Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell are important because you're going to stop any cards getting added from the graveyard back to the deck or the extra deck, back to your hand. Special summon a monster from the graveyard and banishing a card from the graveyard. This is important because basically we're still in the danger world. We're still in a world where things can recur and do a lot from the graveyard. This is your anti-zombies. This is your prank kids. This is pretty much anything when it comes to it. It's all very situational, but good to have. That's all for the monsters in the deck. We're going to go straight into the spells. Spells, we're playing 3 Light Stage, and then of course 2 Terraformings for your 5 Light Stages. Light Stage you obviously use to remove spells and traps from the field, and you can also get another search out of it. It also adds for your additional burn. Terraforming is just to get you the Light Stage. 2 Pot of Desires. This was tough because playing it at 3 meant that you would always see it. Seeing it at 2 is enough to see it sometimes, but not all the time. It's not necessarily a win-con. You could banish integral pieces to the deck, but it'll get you those extra 2 cards that you're going to need if you need to go second. Going first, it's okay. You could probably set it and wait, but it's also just good to have the extra 2 cards, really. Of course, this one's a tough one because Scapegoat is in a weird place right now where you don't want to special summon too much. Goes and Match exists, so you're worried about your cards versus their cards and when you can activate this. Having it at 2, at least from the last ban list, has been pretty good. It's not integral, but it will get you your Boral Load or your Boral Sword or your Saryuja, really any of the bigger monsters that you want without sacrificing a lot of your TRICKSTAR cards. Called by the Grave. Playing it at 2, even though the ban list just moved it up to 3. 2 is good because it can help stop the opponent from preventing you from playing, getting Ash on the Desires, or getting pretty much anything. Preventing a Saryuja draw, preventing a Boral Load amount, like a Ghost Ogre or anything like that. You want to use this. It's good to have, but not great, so I wouldn't play it at 3. Double Mind Control. Mind Control is the Steal Your Girl. It literally will take any monster you want, and you can use it to link up, you can use it to fuse, you can use it not to attack, but just to take it from them. If there's a Colossus on the field and you have nothing, at least you're opening this so that you can take it and then go off on your plays. We don't play a lot of removal for spell and trap, so Cosmic Cyclone's important because if you get anti-spelled, Gozen, if you get Imperial Ordered, really anything that you need to, I think Cosmic Cyclone's better than MST, just because MST's good, it destroys, but right now destroying spell and trap I find to be a little bit more cumbersome for the active player than just banishing it. Banishing it removes it from the game. It's banished face up so you can see it. If it has to be a set card and you're worried about it, just get it out of there. We played one Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is a good one because if you do end up getting rid of a card, or if they end up getting rid of a card, you can just reborn it to your side. If it's a Link monster, it's even better. So Monster Reborn, very good to have in the deck. Finally for the spells, Clashing Souls. If you guys haven't seen this card, it's a really good card to have in Trickstars, especially in the meta now. Pure Trickstars especially. During damage calc, if an attack position monster battles an opponent's attack position monster with a higher attack, the controller of the battling monster with the lower attack can pay 500 life points to have their monster gain 500 attack. And you can do this repeatedly over and over. And if either player does not choose to raise their attack of their monster, the other person wins. If this player if that monster gets destroyed by battle, all the cards that the person, like the losing person does, go sent to the graveyard. So basically it's like a battling evenly matched. I attack you with a Trickster Lycoris, you block it with a Colossus or something, I add 500, I add 500, I add 500, I add 500, and then if I go over and you don't pay any life points because you've already burned out too much, I just win because you've used too much of your life points or you don't have enough life points to use against me, and then it also clears your board. So it's nuts. It's a good one-of. You can't search it, so hopefully you draw it. That's what the Pot of Desires is for. It's not integral because you're not always going to need to win this way, but you absolutely can. For the traps, we're only playing 3 Reincarnation. 3 Reincarnation means, I say only like you can play more, but it's the best card, like literally the best card. You can play this at 2 because 3 bricks a lot, but having it at 3 just means you'll see it more often, and it's kind of integral to have these days, especially in a format where people really like drawing cards. Last but not least, it's a Gozen match. Gozen match is important. You might wonder why, because the scapegoats are Earth and all the rest of the Trickstar monsters are Light, but to be clear, this is preventative if you have to go first and you already have a board that you like. Your Trickstar monsters, if they're already on the field, they're all Light. If you're gonna do Scapegoat and you're not worried about playing that, when you guys see the extra deck, obviously you're gonna know that we have enough Earth monsters to get all the way up to a bigger boss monster, even under Gozen. So it's totally okay to play this. Speaking of that, let's get into that one. Currently we're looking at 2 Link Spiders. They're both Earth. They'll get rid of your Scapegoat tokens. 1 Link Haribo, it's a dark, but you don't have to worry about it. We are playing Mrs. Radiant. Mrs. Radiant will take your 2 Link Spiders and your extra 2 tokens to give you a Link 4. On top of that, we're also playing 2 Cerberus. Same kind of idea, we want monster removal. If there's anything that's too big for us to get over or something that's preventing us from playing, it only takes 2 monsters to make this. They are different names though, so you can take a Trickstar monster and any Scapegoat token, or like a Link Spider and a Mrs. Radiant to make a Cerberus just to get rid of something. It's still Earth, you can clear the board and not worry about it. We are also playing 1 Phoenix, we're playing 1 Holly Angel. I doubt that you ever need to make this, but it's good to have just in case. Abyss Dweller is important as the only Exceed monster in the extra deck, just because there is a lot of graveyard nonsense going on around these days, and adding cards to hand without drawing them does not burn them, so you just want to stop them from doing that. Abyss Dweller will do that. Trisbana, the Bay, obviously, gets rid of problematic cards, back row, just special summon into it, and that's life. Topologic Bomber, front row, so pretty much you're looking at the 2 pairings there if you really need to get more removal. Ningirsu for the extra draw. Borreload, obviously to get rid of problematic monsters or just a win condition. Of course, the final 2 is Skulldread and Boral Sword Dragon. Boral Sword Dragon is a win condition. You can OTK very easily in this deck with just a couple summons. Boral Sword will get you there. Skulldread will get you what you need in your hand if you're looking for a 1-2 options to get around a board or a very situational matter. Skulldread will get you there, and it's Earth, so you can do all of that under Gozen, especially after you Scapegoat. Next, we're going to do side deck. So side deck, we're looking at Artifact Sanctum, and so that's 3 of those, and we're looking at only 2 Scythe. Scythe is important because during your opponent's turn, when this is popped, if this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So if you need to go first and you side these in, and then you pop your Scythe or special summon your Scythe off of Sanctum, that will stop them from making their big ass board that you are greatly worried about. Only 2 Scythe because I could only fit 2 Scythe. It's not necessary to have higher. Sanctum will get you to the Scythe. Scythe is good to just have. They are light, so you're not worried about pretty much getting bodied by Gozen Match, but if you had to, you could also sub in a Lancier or 2. The rest of the side deck is important and relevant. The next 2 that are pretty good, that are also Earth, this is your Floodgate removal. Pancatrops is also 2600, a free special summon, so like just special summon it and use it as your big body beater. He's also an Earth, so you can do it under Gozen, and it's free. 2 of the 2s would be the Shared Ride. Shared Ride is good into Strikers and pretty much good into any deck that just keeps going. And the grind game is tough. Tricksters are good at the grind game, but they're not amazing. And you want to make sure you're seeing the rest of your deck, and you want to make sure you're drawing a lot of your cards. So why not join them in their path to drawing out themselves? Last, you have your double set, Evenly and Impermanence. Impermanence is still good because there are a couple FTKs running around and you're not playing Ogres. You are playing Ash, but Impermanence will stop them from doing a lot of what they want to do. It'll also destroy a column. Evenly will get rid of a board if you are worried about going second and actually siding this in. It's a good card to have still. Evenly gets rid of a lot of things that are oppressive, and if they have to only keep one, well, Mind Control and a lot of other things that you are keeping, even if it's a Floodgate, at least you have the Cyclones or the Pancatrops. It's good to have. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, subscribe for more quality content, and we'll see you in the next one.